tonight's lineup. So many amazing authors. As much as we want to sit and chit chat, we can't do a whole lot of that because we got to hear from so many. So before we dive in though, Miss Dawn, Visionary Queen, just give us a little synopsis of this book.
Well, this book is so amazing because most people are aware Finally Free 1 came out at the beginning of the pandemic, and we had 22 authors that wrote about their walk through fear and being triumphant once they got to the other side. And so in this book, we have some brand new authors that are crushing fear and walking through it. Going through the healing process right now as they're writing, but we also have some return authors from the original Finally Free that are now going to write a chapter and have written a chapter on what is going on now that they are finally free. So it's going to be a mix of both. So we're excited about that.
Oh, and that's the symbolism with the butterfly, right?
Yes. So the butterfly on the cover, the first one, if you notice, the first cover was a small, a medium, and a large butterfly. So that was just kind of coming out of the cocoon, becoming finally free. But this one on the cover, it has, a butterfly at the top and one kind of off to the side and then one on its own. And that is about the journey of being finally free and staying finally free. So it's not the beginning. It's just kind of out there because staying finally free is part of it. Becoming finally free is a fabulous moment, but there's always times in our lives where things happen and we might get stuck again. We might have those chains wrap around us again. So we constantly, it's not a destination, it's a journey. So we have to keep working on staying finally free. So that's kind of in short what this book is about as well.
That's so important because our staying power is in staying free. And hearing the journeys of all of these authors tonight. How exciting. So super excited, Dawn. Let's go. Who are we bringing on first tonight?
Yay. First, we are going to bring on Miss Allison G. Daniels. She is fabulous. She's a visionary herself. She's an author a bazillion times over, and I am blessed to have her in this project. She was in the first project. So here she is. Here she is.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome back. So you are a repeat Finally Free, right?
Yes.
I'm so excited to hear your story. So Allison, tell us a little bit about you, your chapter, and then how and where do people reach out to you to connect with you and obviously buy the book?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Dawn. Dr. Pamela, thank you so much. Listen, I am elated to be here. So my name is Reverend Allison G. Daniels. I am the CEO and founder of AGD Publishing Services, where we help turn writers into successful authors one book at a time. I am also a mom, a wife of two beautiful queens, and I created the 30-day Write to Finish book writing program to help writers get started. So my chapter is called Executing My Assignment. So in the first book, I did birthing the assignment. And now we have to execute the assignment because we can give birth and then allow it to sit there and then nothing ever comes of it. So my chapter in Finally Free 2 is called Executing My Assignment. And so I give several nuggets on that. Also, people can find me, customers or clients can find me on my website at www.allisongdaniels.com. Again, that's www.allisongdaniels.com. And I am so elated to be here.
Oh my gosh, Allison, that was great. And I love what you said about executing the call, executing the plan, so important to achieve your dreams and goals and stay finally free.
Yes.
Dawn, how amazing is it to have this woman in your book?
I know, I love it. And it's just that, it's been a year and a half, just a little over a year and a half since the first one. And so watching the authors and the journey from the beginning of the first book writing, and now I have just watched them in awe as all of these things are happening, and all of these things, like Allison said, all of these things being birthed, but they're not just being birthed, they are being executed. And so to watch that is just amazing. It just, it's so amazing for my heart to see it happen, because there were so many things that went on during the first book. So much growth and a lot of healing and just some unsureties about ourselves and our situations. So to see all of this blossoming is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I can totally feel that, sense that in my heart. And how divinely aligned is it that the woman that wrote the chapter on birthing and executing would be a reverend, because that we would hear like that right from heaven on this, because we all have a purpose by design. There's a reason we're here. I love that. Allison, thank you so much for being here. I'm so looking forward to reading your chapter. Yay! Thank you. Man, that was amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they just keep coming. They just, I am so blessed in every book project that it's almost like, well, it's not almost, it is. God picks the authors out and just sends them to me. So all of the books, it's so amazing to me. And it's such a blessing that, like, in between every page, there's God between every page of every book. It's like he just flows through it. And you can tell that by the women that are in the books, and the men as well. So it's just amazing. Nothing short of the miraculous miracle, as usual. Nothing surprising.
Nothing surprising, only execution.
Right.
Being executed from heaven, coming through in the earth. I love it. Okay, who are we bringing on next?
Next, we have Miss Ida Crawford. And Miss Ida has some shows that she does. She is absolutely amazing. We've been friends for many years. We met at a conference trying to get ourselves together, and boy, have we. So here is Miss Ida.
Yay, Ida, welcome. We're so excited that you're here. And that color is your color, honey. Boy, does that look beautiful on you. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much. Wow.
Tell us a little bit about you and your chapter, and then how do people reach out to you?
Wow. Thank you so much, Dawn and Dr. Pamela, for having me here. My name is Ida Crawford, and I'm the CEO of Just Minding My Business Media, LLC. And my company is all about providing platforms to get you in front of audiences that you may not necessarily touch. I have an international podcast. I'm on radio. I have my own television channel, which airs on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple, and getting ready to launch a magazine. So I am all about making sure people's voices, people's gifts are transmitted across the globe. And my chapter was all about really sitting back and looking at me, digging deep into me. I was basically running, up at 4:30 in the morning, running all day long, passing through my house, saying hi, and just keeping it moving, running my business. And then when the pandemic hit, boy, did I miss out. And one of the things that I learned through that period of time was I had to restructure in terms of what was really important. and I had missed so much from my family, that I didn't even realize I was missing. I thought I was the best wife, a great mom, and little did I know, I was really dropping the ball. And because of that time, it let me know that, I needed to put my priorities in order and keep them there and pay attention that I don't deviate from God, family, and then work.
Mhm.
Because being an entrepreneur, everybody knows you can really get hung up with the work. Especially when you're wearing all of the hats.
Mhm.
But at the same time, your family grows and you can't get those moments back. You really can't. And, being a part of this anthology, I really wanted to stress in my chapter the importance of staying connected to really keeping things in order, so to speak. What's prioritizing, making that time, because you can't get it back. And nobody leaves this earth wanting to say that they wanted to do more work. They wanted to spend more time with their family. They wanted to have those moments that they could look back on and reminisce upon. So that's what my chapter is all about.
Oh, that is so touching. And thank you for being so transparent that you would share your story. Not everybody would share that. And yet you're so transparent about it. And because of that, so many people will be helped by it because you're not afraid to get real. And that is so needed in the entrepreneurial world. It's needed everywhere, but it certainly is needed there. And moms need to hear that. All parents do. So I want to thank you for that, Ida. And where do people find you at?
They can visit my website at jmmbbmediallc.com, or they can email me at jmmbradio@gmail.com.
Yes, and get on some of those other stages they haven't yet been on. Woo! Wow, Dawn, another amazing author.
Yes, and I just really have to, give credit where credit's due to Miss Ida because she was so instrumental in the success of Finally Free One. She took every author on her show. She gave them offers to be on TV. I mean, these were things, there were a lot of brand new authors with their very first time. And so can you imagine your first time, you're making that leap, you're going through this healing process, and here comes Miss Ida, and she says, well, I can put you on TV, and everybody's just it was like this unbelievable thing. And she interviewed every single author, all 22 authors, one-on-one, and gave them a show. And so she was very instrumental in the success of that project. And so it only made sense for her to write in this one, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, and congratulations for being a Finally Free 1 and 2.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ida, for coming and sharing a little bit about you and your book. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. So that's two that tonight that have been in both.
Well, Ida did not write. She just totally promoted, like from the ground up. She did not write in the first one.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, amazing. So
and help everybody get exposure. That is such a servant's heart. Oh wow.
Yes, absolutely. So the next fabulous author we have, this is her second anthology, is Miss Kristina Hiller. So she has been in another project with my dear friend Angela Singletary. So this is her second project. So here she is.
Yay, Kristina!
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. My name is Kristina Hiller. I'm from Connecticut. I am an international best-selling author. Like Dawn said, I did an anthology that came out last September. So having done 2 books in a year's time has been absolutely amazing for me and a dream come true. I have always been a writer. It's always been a great way for me to heal myself in a way. I had a lot of health issues, and in my chapter that I wrote for Dawn's book, my chapter is called Keep Going, and I basically discuss a medical hardship I went through, and something that I really hope that my writing does is help other people. That's all I want to be able to do, is help somebody. All throughout my life, I'm always needing someone to help me with physical things like home care and whatnot. And I always feel like I never have any other way to give back to people for everything that they have done for me. But I'm hoping that through my writing and my voice and my words that I can help others the way that I have been helped, and obviously in a little bit of a different way, but just to be there for someone to know that they have someone on their team rooting for them to keep going. So that's what I hope my writing can do, and I hope I get that across in my chapter for Dawn's book. So, and you can find me on Facebook. Just type in my name, Kristina Hiller, and it's Kristina with a K. And you can also email me at mywheellife.com, yahoo.com.
Oh my gosh, Kristina, can I just tell you something? Just being in your presence, even across the screen, has inspired me.
Oh,
And
thank you.
are just such an inspiration of the power of keeping on. And so what a perfect title, what a perfect chapter. And I can see how you are being utilized to help so many. And so I just want to encourage you to keep on keeping on, because it is working. Wow.
Thank you. Good. Mission accomplished. That's what I want. I want to be able to help people.
So you do. You are. And you're so easy to listen to, so joyful. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Truly has. Dawn, what an amazing author here you have, amazing person you have here.
Oh, I know. She messaged me about the book, and we had this very short conversation, and she's like, well, I really, I'm hoping that you'll choose me. I'm like, what, are you crazy? I already love you. It's just such a fabulous personality. And she had me laughing, and I was like, girl, don't worry about it. You are in there. It's a blessing.
Thank you.
Blessing. Well, thank you so much, Kristina. We're looking forward to reading your story.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to write it.
Thank you. Dawn, they just keep coming.
Yes, they do. They do.
What a powerful woman that we just had. Kristina, man, like she just, she exemplifies keep going, doesn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you read her chapter, you'll fully understand. There's just so much to it. And she's just always got that smile. And,
Absolutely. Yep. And that's an inspiration to the whole world that gets to see it. And I'm so touched that tonight we were able to see her smile. So who do we have next? This is so much fun. Who's next?
We have next, all the way from the UK, Miss Adeyinka Kilani. So my girl
Good morning.
that ensures, she ensures every book, that I'm involved with at all. She makes it international. She makes it her business to make it international. She is just a doll.
Okay.
Thank you, Dawn.
Did you say Yinka? Is that how I say your name? Yinka?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, well,
Thanks for having me.
we're so happy you're here, Yinka. Now, where are you calling in from tomorrow morning?
Yeah. I know it's 1 a.m. here. So I'm calling in from Salisbury. I live in the UK. I am Nigerian born, and I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I work in the civil service as a geospatial analyst. I became an author in during the COVID lockdown, because that was when I really thought, you know what, let me start writing about my experiences and the things I had been through, because God had been putting in my mind to, Yinka, share your testimony, share your testimony. I kept saying, oh, there's time, I'll do it when I retire, I'll do it when I retire. But then when COVID happened, I realized, okay, there's no guarantee that I'm going to live long enough to retire. So I decided to start writing. And so that was my very first anthology, was when I met Dawn. And I mean, since then I've done 4. Finally Free 2 is my number 5. And in this one, I actually the title of my chapter is called Loving the New Me. And I write about my journey after being diagnosed with MS, because I totally lost who I was. I completely, of everything I thought I held as important became impossible for me. So I had to rediscover myself. I had to rediscover the real me, and I had to start to love her again, from the scratch. So I decided to write about it to encourage people that, even when we get diagnosed with a lifelong condition, that he hasn't caught God by surprise, and he still loves us, and he still has our back, and he still, we can still fulfill destiny even with this diagnosis. So that's all that's a little bit of my, what I'm sharing in my chapter. So I can be found on Facebook as Yinka Kilani, on Instagram as Yinka Kilani, and email adeyinkakilani@yahoo.com.
Awesome. And you're joining us at 1 a.m. God bless
Yes.
you. How special is that? Your story is really inspiring, and how I love how you pointed back to God, that he's not taken by surprise by things that happen in our life, right? He's not
Yes.
sitting on the throne going, I wasn't expecting that, what do I do? He
Yes.
actually will navigate us through it, and work us through it for his highest calling and best in us. And I love how you have demonstrated that with your life, and then putting what you've demonstrated into writing. That is so powerful. Thank you so much for coming and just giving us a little peek into your life and who you are. And wow, Dawn, what another amazing author that you have here.
I'm telling you.
International end.
Yes. Every single author is amazing. And just the bravery that it takes, just the boldness that it takes to actually write our story and get raw. Some of them are very raw. And, that's the transparency that helps heal them, and it helps heal the readers. So it's so important and just amazing.
That is so true. I just want to ask you to repeat that one more time. You talked about transparency and healing. Could you say that?
Right. The transparency, when you're raw and you are just really just pouring it all out there, it begins your healing process. But just as much as your healing process as the writer, it takes the reader who needs it, who resonates with whatever you're writing. It takes them into the healing process as well. So it's a 2-for-1 thing. And so, like the great Cheryl Wood always says, she's like, your story is about you, but it's not for you. It's not for you. It's going to help someone else. And so that's what it's all about. But it takes that courageousness. It takes that bravery to actually put ourselves out there and tell it with that transparency, for the whole world to read. But that's what takes it. That's what lifts it from us. And it helps others at the same time.
Yep, you're so right. Wrinkles and all, we show it, and God gets the glory. And in bearing all of that, it's a stepping stone for someone else. Oh, that's so powerful and beautiful. And that is absolutely the theme of your book, this book. Man, so awesome. I think we have another author.
We have the fabulous Latoya Griggs.
Woohoo! All right, Latoya.
She is one of our featured authors. She is absolutely amazing and my dear friend. we have gone back. We go back for many years. I think probably 2018, 2019. We met at the Women's Success Conference here on the coast, and we've been stuck with each other ever since. So.
Oh, I love that. I love it. And you know what, Latoya, you are rocking that hat.
Yes,
I love that hat on you. You look fabulous in it, and it looks fabulous on you. Thank you for being here, you and your beautiful hat.
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, Dawn is stuck with me. I have been in several of the anthology projects, starting with Finally Free and Boss Your Lane. And Finally Free 2 was an absolute must, because this amazing woman allowed me to write my story. And her words are always, do it scared. When I started writing in Finally Free 1, I was absolutely scared to be transparent, to be real, and to just share. I didn't even know where to start. But since that book allowed me to spread my wings and fly. Okay. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Latoya Griggs, the owner and operator of Live Well with Latoya LLC Wellness Program. Thanks to Ms. Dawn Lieck, I was able to spread those wings and start that business. That is where I teach women how to find their why and show them how to live their best health using the basic tools of clean eating, vitamin supplements, and a healthy lifestyle change. And so since releasing Finally Free 1, my life has completely changed. And so the opportunity to do Finally Free 2, I wrote about.
Oh no, we have a freeze.
But she looks awesome.
Yes, she does.
Sharing it all, throwing it all on him, because he cares. The Lord cares for you, and he wants you to live an abundant life, a fulfilled life. But you have to be willing to do some things and do some steps as well, because he gives you the strength. So in my cast, now I'm able to really stay finally free. So this chapter, this book is for those of you that struggle. When you learn to cast, baby, it's gonna be all kinds of things that come up upon you, but you have to keep going anyway. And so I'm gonna hurry up and wrap this up. But in this chapter, in this book, period, casting just allows you to really release those things that once had you bound, and you can live the life of abundance, the life that he's called you, your purpose. And I thank Dawn Lieck all the time for telling me, girl, you got this. And she has shown me, and she continues to show me each and every day that I can do this. So if you are if you're scared, do it anyway. If you're not sure, do it anyway. Link arms with the people that really want you to win, to help you cast all of your cares. You can find me on all of social media avenues. It's Facebook, Latoya Griggs. My website is latoya-griggs.com. I'm on Instagram at Live Well with Latoya, and my email is livewellwithlatoya@gmail.com. Thank you, Dr. Pamela and Dawn, for having me.
Oh, and I want to thank you for pressing in and not giving in to the enemy, not giving into poor technology stuff that happens, storms, weather, whatever. You weathered that beautifully and just came back in, and you just kept marching. And that's what it takes in life. We just get up, dust ourselves off, and just keep going. And I can see that you would be the most wonderful person to sit at your knee and learn how to just keep going. So thank you so much for sharing tonight and for being here and encouraging us. What a blessing to have this woman in your book, Dawn.
I know. And Latoya, I just want to say this, and you know, I always have to say this because I am in awe of you. So like during the first project, Latoya, like she said, she was terrified. She was absolutely terrified. And so, Latoya, think about this. If that would have just happened on your computer during the first one, you'd have sweat running off your head. Your hat would be crooked. Your hair would. She really had some problems with technology and how to do that. And if it did go wrong, because she does live in an area that has shoddy, you know, internet, it just does. It's the area, and they don't offer great internet. And so at the beginning, when she would have those issues, I mean, it would fluster her so much. And then when she would interview afterwards, after coming back and forth, she would be flustered, and it would show on her interviews. And look at her now. Look at her now. She popped back in. She was just like, hey, y'all. And I mean, this is it. This is I wish I had the recording of that first call, because this is the transformation, Dr. Pamela, that I get the pleasure and the blessing to see all of the time. Sure. I mean, you just can't even imagine. I can't even explain to the extent. And I asked Latoya to be a featured author before the book was even like starting, because she is the epitome of finally free. She still hits some bumps, but you know what? They don't stop her. Come on. They may fluster for a second, but they don't stop her. She just keeps on going. And she's doing it. She's doing the darn thing. I mean, really doing it. She's got numerous businesses. She's done her own anthology as the Visionary. She's been in other anthologies. She's just killing it. She's killing it. So that's what it's all about, y'all, is being finally free, becoming finally free, and walking through it on a daily basis to stay finally free. Because just like right now, the enemy tried to take her off of this screen to give her testimony, she came right back. She came right back. And so that's what it's about on your daily walk in life, is once you get finally free, you have to keep on keeping on to stay free, because you can get bound just as quickly as you got unbound.
That's so good. And you know, there's a statement or a quote that Bob Proctor always said. He said that in that world of self-discovery and self-transformation, if you were serious about discovering yourself and about becoming your next best, that you would need a telescope within 6 months to see how far you've come, and to look back and see how far you've come. And Dawn, as you're speaking, you know, about Latoya, but about so many of all of the authors that you have the joy of working with, I could see that telescope being held up in front of all of them. And so just to encourage you, Latoya, but all of the authors as they pop back in, have you taken the time to see how far you have come? Because you've come so far. Look at them all. Oh my gosh, I'm emotional. I'm getting all teary-eyed here. Well, this has been so amazing. Is there anything, ladies, we have a few minutes. Is there anything on your heart that you would like to share in closing? Something brief, if it is, go ahead and unmute yourself and share. If there's anything else you'd like to say, take your liberty.
Y'all don't have anything. I know better than that.
Come on now.
Well, you know me, Dawn. I can absolutely talk now, because when I tell you I am free, I am finally free. But again, I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you again for having us on the platform where we can share and really help other people change their lives. Dawn Lieck is an absolutely phenomenal woman. Dr. Pamela, it is an honor again to be on the platform to share. But if you just do not understand how phenomenal this woman is in pulling you forward, and when you said using that telescope to look back, this has just been what, a year? When was finally free?
It's been about a year and a half. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just been a year and a half, and like she said, it is unrecognizable. Like when people see me and people hear me, they like, wow, I even can't believe it at times. But once you do release, once you do say yes, once you allow yourself to spread your wings and fly, then stay connected and just keep flying higher. Keep staying connected to those people that truly want you to win. Personal development is very important. You definitely want to make sure that you are tapping in to these amazing ladies on the platform. because I have learned, Kristina, you have just inspired me tonight to keep going, to really keep going. Sometimes we get where we're stuck. And I heard Miss Ida saying how you're working so much that you forget about the important things. Family, definitely make sure God is at the forefront, and then stay connected and keep winning. So I'm going to turn it back over, but I just appreciate the opportunity to come and share, because y'all do not understand. That would have flustered me. Like, I'm talking about sweat where you could have seen it on the camera. I would have been like, forget it, never again. But I know it is true healing when you can release and you can and go, and you know that you can trust the process, that people they got you. Y'all not gonna let us fall.
No.
And that's good to know.
That is so powerful. Thank you for that encouragement, Latoya. Is there anybody that would like to add to that, or had something that bubbled up while Latoya was speaking that you'd like to share? You all have so much wisdom. Reverend Allison, did I see you unmute? And then
Yes.
So Reverend Allison, and then I saw Kristina put her hands up. So we'll go in that order. Go ahead, Reverend.
So I'll be very short, but I just want to again say thank you so much for having all of us on the platform. And I want to really, really thank Dawn, because Dawn, I can't remember if I met you 2018 or 2019, but whatever it was, whenever I connected with you, it was almost like a spark started, and creativity just flew out. And so I thank you, because, you know, behind the scenes, no one really knows how often I inbox you and email you and have so many questions for you, and you never stop answering my questions, and you're always there for me. And so I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you, visionary author to one visionary author, but to be able to have someone that you can call on no matter what. It's an honor and a blessing, and I thank you so much. Glad to be on number 2.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You all are so amazing. Miss Kristina.
I just want to also thank you for having all of us on here. And Dawn, thank you for this opportunity again, for all of us to get our voice out and to be heard and help people, and to heal our hearts and our souls so we can continue on. And just thank you for giving us this opportunity. I'm very grateful and very honored, and thank you all so much, and for bringing all the co-authors into my life. I've made some really great friends, and it's been wonderful getting to know all of you, and I can't wait to read all of your chapters. And we've all worked very hard on this project, and I'm very honored to be a part of this new finally free family that Dawn created. We're going to call her Mama Dawn, and we're all her little babies. So thank you all so much. And I'm just very grateful. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Kristina.
Yes.
Anybody else have something to share? Ida or Yinka?
Yes. Okay, Ida, you go first. Yes. Okay, thank you, Dr. Pamela, and thank you, Dawn. I just wanted to remind everybody that Thursday is the digital release, so make sure you grab your copy. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Ida.
Thank you so much, Dawn and Dr. Pamela, for having us all here. I feel kind of funny because I'm usually doing the interviewing, so this is a little weird for me. And I want to thank Dawn for the Finally Free family. I have met so many amazing people just because of Finally Free. And I mean, some of the people we've worked together, we've become very intimate in different projects. And that would have never happened if you did not do Finally Free 1.
Thank you, Miss Ida. Yeah, it has just been really a connector. It's like I said, with the first book, you know, the first Finally Free, I didn't write a single word in it because it was made very clear to me that the book wasn't about me and it wasn't for me, that I was just to be the vessel. And so I did not write a word in that book, and everybody ostracized me about it and said, how are you going to put out your own first book, your first anthology, and not write in it? And I had to explain, it was made very clear to me that it was not about me. It was not for me. So I did not write in that book, but it didn't matter to me. I was totally okay with that. I was fine with it, because if you just listen to some of these authors that were in the first one and now in the second one, and we're going to be having these same conversations with the authors in this part 2, that it's their first one, and it just goes on. And that's what it's all about. It's about that healing process. It's about becoming finally free. It's not about me. It's about these authors and what they're doing with their lives, what they want to do, and what they're courageous enough to do to write these chapters and put it out there in front of the world. That's where it all begins. And, Latoya, like I said, she is a perfect example of it all. Just absolutely amazing. But she is not the only one. She is not the only one. We had a couple gals that were in the first book, and one of them couldn't even, first of all, it was her first Zoom call ever in her life. She had never been on Zoom before, so she was a nervous wreck about that. And she got on, and she finally figured out, she was late because she couldn't figure out the technology. She finally got on, and she started to talk about what she was going to write about. And she totally broke down, could not speak, and had to leave the call. And it was a show. It wasn't a show. It was a call with just the authors. So she had to leave because she could not compose herself. And it was exactly about 9 weeks later that we had everything together, and she wrote her chapter and she put her chapter out. And it was 1 month after that, and she had actually in her life stopped speaking, like literally was so introverted in what had her bound. She stopped speaking.
Wow.
So this was like for real, her voice, almost like for the first time. She wrote her chapter, she released all of that, and at the 3-month mark, she launched her own show.
Wow.
Radio, TV, her own show. So to go from not even having a voice, literally not having a voice, and then coming out and being freed and having her own show and interviewing people and talking about whatever she wanted to talk about. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that came out of the first one. And I expect no less from this second one. It's just God's will. The whole project is God's will. And so it's a freeing vessel.
That is such a beautiful story. She really embodied finally free. She became finally free, living finally free. And I went like this, the telescope, literally the telescope there. That is such a powerful story. Dawn, before we close out tonight, I would just like to echo what your wonderful authors have said here about you.
Oh,
because you can always tell a great leader by how their followers follow them and feel about them. And I always hear your authors who are following your lead in the writing world, your mama Dawn.
That's because I'm so bossy. I really am bossy. Any of them, Angela Singletary was here right now, but Toya will tell you I'm bossy as all get out because I know what your potential is. And
We
so
love
I'm not going to take no for an answer. So yeah, that's where the mama comes from.
Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful to be called mama, to be called, coach, and that they see that leadership in you. So I just want to honor that in you tonight as I know these other authors here are doing it as well. And when they say that they've come back for book after book, or how Ida was showing up for the first Finally Free and just interviewing 22 authors just because, those are things that speak very loudly about someone's lifestyle and integrity. And so I honor you, Dawn Lieck, as being a phenomenal servant leader. And I want to thank you for bringing and keeping that light in the community, because we need it. It's not always out there. So thank you for being you.
And so you're gonna make me cry on the show.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Pamela. And I thank you to all you ladies. And Pamela, just what a doll you are, having us all on the show and offering and reaching out to me. Hey, let's put the authors on the show. Is just amazing. And Ida does the same thing. So I appreciate you both so much, because this is what these authors deserve. This is what they deserve. I mean,
Absolutely.
They're doing amazing things. And so I thank you all very much. But again, you know, I don't want to be on that pedestal, because I'm just the vessel. That's it. That's it. It's plain and simple. It's plain and simple. So
Queen Dawn, come on, Queen.
It's all about them. It's not about me.
That's right. But you are the queen, and it's good to follow a good queen. So
Yes.
Thank you for being that. But yes, we appreciate your humility, of course. But, you know, honor goes where it's due, and it's due to you, my friend. So thank you for being such a quality leader in the world. And I see all of them blowing you kisses, nodding their heads. So just accept the compliments, my friend, and say, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen. Well, we want to thank everybody for being here tonight. The authors, everybody that showed up live to watch. Those are going to be watching later. Make sure you drop some comments, tag some friends. As Les Brown, my mentor, says, like it and share it. And you know what? You should like it and share it. Send this around. Let's get Finally Free, something that's happening all over the globe. What do you say? Let's do it together.
Yeah.
Man,
Yes.
we can all reach people in our world, and then together we reach the world. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's give a big wave goodbye and good night. See you later.
We've all been through it. You know, those times in life where we just want to give up, we want to give in, where we just don't believe in ourselves anymore. You remember that mountain that looked impossible to climb, but you did it anyway? Do you remember that race that you didn't think you could finish and you ended up on top? But see, you listen to the voice inside of you, the one that encourages you, inspires you, and drives you to do things that you didn't think you were capable of. Listen to the voice. It says one phrase that will ignite a flame in you that will set the world on fire. Can you hear it? Listen.
You have something special. You have greatness within you.
Les Brown and John Tellerico present The Greatness in You. This book anthology is changing lives around the world. The magic of the human spirit is highlighted by these timeless stories of men and women who are inspiring others to discover their own greatness. A collective of talented authors has been assembled for this project. NFL Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins, influencer and entrepreneur Alicia Little, Deputy Governor of the British Virgin Islands David Archer Jr., and world-renowned actor Sam Humphrey. Through their commitment, dedication, and determination, you'll learn how you can overcome any challenge, move into your highest potential, and embrace the miracles of life. You will hear 30 empowering stories led by the world's greatest motivational speaker of our time, the legendary Les Brown. His voice has inspired millions around the globe to find their greatness. And now he's unleashing the next generation of motivators and thought leaders who will inspire the masses. So if you're ready to find the greatness in you, order your copy today.
Ascend Above the Crowd is the newest course by Pamela Hinkle. Ascend is a self-paced email course that will come directly to your inbox and will change your mindset and your life. Each week, you will receive lessons, resources, challenges, and journal writings that will help you discover your purpose by design. It's your time to ascend above the crowd. To learn more about Ascend, go to www.purposewithpamela.com/ascend.